I hadn't actually planned on saving pea seeds, but I came home from a long trip and found that my pea plants were all dead and had these pods hanging on them that had dried out, and I thought, well, that's a total waste unless I save the seeds. And so I went out and I picked all the seeds, as I did some weeding too after that long trip. And I ended up with a whole bowl full of them, even more than you see here. And to process them, I crushed them up to get those husks, the pods, separated from the seeds. I think you can probably tell that they were pretty dry, and so the seeds were coming out pretty easily. And what I would then do is just pull out pods and put them in an adjacent bowl, and I would just keep working, removing peas from their pods until I'd gotten all the peas out. I did it with two hands though, except I was just holding the phone in my other hand for this shot. And it was a good thing to do while watching a show, or in this case I was just watching my kids. Eventually we got to the point where it was mostly peas down in there and less pod, but just kept going until it became too laborious to remove that leftover chaff. This is how much chaff was left in the peas, just little pod pieces. So we had this rig. What we do is drop the peas, and as the peas drop along with the chaff is blown away by the fan, and the chaff is blown away in the wind. Now in olden times people would have just waited for a windy day and the same thing would occur, and this of course is something they do with wheat and corn and other things that have chaff. And here we're getting a shot of the chaff blown away. The fan was super effective, way more than I thought. It actually was blowing away the chaff before I could even drop the peas. And in fact, at the end, you'll see we only ended up with a couple of pieces of chaff left over. If I had had more than that, I would have just repeated the process with the remaining peas until there was no chaff left. I actually, if I were just saving seed, I don't even think this step is necessary. But if I wanted to save it for food and make some peas porridge, like an American pilgrim, I could have done that, and I would have had nice clean peas. So I was pretty impressed. Here's the before picture with all the chaff in it, and after one time through, the peas were all cleaned, and I thought that was pretty cool. I weighed these peas and we ended up with about a pound of peas, which I looked up, and at the seed store I like to buy from online, it's about $9 worth of peas. I could have just decided to weed those old pea plants out before planting new stuff, but I decided to save this stuff. So I'm going to use it for broadcast seeding closer to the fall, and because there's so much of it, I can just rake it into the soil and plant it pretty thick, and I'll get a harvest of peas and some more nitrogen in my soil, and should be really nice. If you want to be able to see how the germination goes with these and how home saved seed can produce a good harvest, make sure you subscribe so you know when the video comes out. We'll see you later.